point, I want to get you to respond to this, because what I'm already hearing from people who work for Trump and are his allies is that there's really no leg for the Democrats don't have a leg to stand on, because President Biden leaving today, issued a raft of pardons, including for his own family members and his sister and his brothers and their spouses, and then also for an activist, an elderly activist who is convicted of killing 2 FBI agents. Chris Wray did not even want him to commute that sentence that President Biden did today. They say that doesn't give Democrats an argument here to criticize these pardons. What is your response to that?
I mean, I think that's the mistake we're seeing now, is people trying to reduce this to tribalism. This is not about Democrat or Republican. Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain what he did and his reasoning. But the people he pardoned, his family members, did not, before the naked public eye, beat police officers, try to overthrow our government, lead to the death of police officers, and have injuries, scars, both visible and invisible, on police officers that are still affecting their lives today. This is not about left or right in our country. We can't just say this is a tit for tat, or their side did it so my side can do it. No.
It is political, right? And this is why I don't believe these Democrats when they try to sit here and virtue signal and saying, oh, we shouldn't weaponize the court system after we weaponize the court system, right? It reminds me of Bill Clinton, his initial reactions after Trump won November 5th. And he would say, yeah, we need to stop all this heated rhetoric, right? And I'm sitting there like, yo, like human nature, we're based on fairness, man. If we feel we've been slighted, it's a kind of emotional pain that doesn't go away until it's been righted, like that wrong has been righted in some way or fashion. And the fact that they want to play politics, they want to pretend that they're so much more virtuous than the other side, when they don't even want to admit the wrongdoings on their own side, it comes across as tribal. Like the Cory Booker, I forgot his name, Cory Booker, you are being tribal here. And you have no leg to stand on, for real. Like, I'm being honest with you. If you guys seen my clips, the videos I've been doing lately today, Democrats got nothing to stand on. This is why when they do this little fake outrage, no one gives a damn anymore. No one gives a damn anymore. People are tired. Just give us the information, give us what you're referencing, and call it a day. Democrats want to sit here and complain, and I almost curse, but they want to complain so much about how, oh my God, Trump's a liar. Trump's this, Trump's a fascist, Trump's a dictator. But when you look at the contrast between Trump's administration and Biden's administration, you can make the argument that Biden administration was more dictatorial, more authoritarian than Trump's. Biden went against the Supreme Court's ruling saying that, hey, as the president, you can't unilaterally just forgive student loans. And Joe Biden did it anyway. Isn't that authoritarian? Joe Biden prosecuted his political rival, Donald Trump, for something that he himself did, taking classified documents into a private home. And Joe Biden was vice president when he did that. At least Trump had the defense of, oh, I thought I could do this because I was a former president. I'm allowed to take classified documents with me. Trump at least has the defense for that. Joe Biden was a vice president. Hell, even Hillary Clinton was just a secretary of state. Y'all didn't prosecute her for holding classified information. But you have Democrats sitting here continually making excuses. And this is why I call Abby Phillips, CNN, I codenamed them the Democratic Defenders. Because it seems like every line, every clip, and I've watched a lot of clips from CNN, it's always them defending the Democrats. And this video is going to be about tribalism, because I honestly believe that tribalism is what is kind of preventing Democrats from realizing the error of their ways. And before I get into a video, because I want to show you some clips and some segments where I believe that this highlights my point, I want to show you this clip of Shermichael giving some brutally honest warning. He gives a brutally honest advice to the Democrats about, hey, your stuff didn't work 4 years ago. Your stuff didn't work 8 years ago. I think it's time to try a different approach.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the process. I'm happy to see it. The American people had an opportunity between two candidates. And I noticed something that Ashley said about this potential opportunity for Democrats to paint the president as being selfish. Well, they had an opportunity to make that argument to the American people, and they failed. The American people made a decision, including many Democrats, including many groups that typically vote for Democrats, Hispanics, black men in certain states like Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Texas. And they resoundingly rejected the argument coming from the Democratic Party. Now, my advice to my Democratic friends here would be to have a little humility. Understand why you lost. Understand why the American people overwhelmingly rejected the message coming from former President Biden, then Vice President Harris, once she became the nominee for the Democratic Party. And I have yet to see that from any single Democrat thus far. Sure. All I have seen is the constant contrasting of why they think Trump would be terrible and Harris would have been better, or why Trump is only about his own perseverance and self-preservation and self-interest.
Can I respond? I think the one thing that we don't have an appreciation for is Donald Trump ran for 4 years against Joe Biden, right? Kamala Harris had 100 days. Donald Trump ran for 4 years. I was just talking to my friend Paul over here, and I said, well, how do you beat someone who's such an incredible showman who has a penchant for lying for 4 years to the American people? I would take your argument if he played fair and was honest with the American people. But the reality is he spent time not just today in his speech, but for 4 years lying about his record and lying about Joe Biden.
You guys had an equal opportunity, though, to make your case to the American people. You did.
In the arena today, during his speech.
Yeah, so as you see that, you heard that, right? And it brings up that quote that I talk about with Thomas Sowell. Journalists, you cannot serve two masters. You either serve the Democratic Party and you embrace your name as the Democratic defenders, or you serve the interests of the American people. And in the interest of the American people, it does not benefit us for you playing defense for the Democrats. It doesn't. We want you to pursue the truth. We want you to be balanced in how you conduct your commentary. But if you look at this panel, and I'm going to let it play out the whole way through, because there's a clip I want to highlight how Kevin McCarthy just destroys NBC, and they're like this narrative that they're trying to portray, and it's purely tribal. I'm being honest. At this point, I think it should be a requirement for these journalists to openly wear their political affiliations so people can better understand and be more transparent about where they're coming from with their analysis, because it's starting to get frustrating for me. Let's take a look at this 2-minute clip, and then we'll switch over to Kevin McCarthy blowtorching the NBC host.
Sure, Michael. This is a fundamental issue that we face as a country. Crimes are crimes. When you commit them and you're prosecuted, they're crimes, right? And they should stand. But when someone like Donald Trump is willy-nilly accusing everybody and their mother that he does not like of crimes, that is deeply problematic and also undermines.
But it's not problematic to call him a threat to democracy, Hitler, a dictator. That's not problematic, right? Like this is the problem with these people. It's not problematic to call him a white supremacist. It's not problematic to call him a racist when you have no evidence of that. When if you look at Trump's track record, it's the opposite. He won awards from the NAACP. Donald Trump did in the 80s. But you let your side call him a racist. I never see CNN downplay that stuff, saying, hey, it's too far calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy. We just don't like him. He just have a bad personality, bad attitude. He's brash. He comes across rude. That's our real criticism for Donald Trump. But you can't, it's not going to really hurt somebody politically by saying that. So instead, you call him a threat to democracy. These hyperbolic languages. Y'all never condone your own side. You never police your own side of not going so exaggerated. But here you are complaining about Donald Trump saying, oh, I think they're guilty of something. Oh, you just pardoned Fauci, Ouchie. You just pardoned Miller. You pardoned January 6th Select Committee. Liz Cheney and them. Oh, they did something. Oh, no, that's too far. That's too far. Always holding Republicans like up here. And it's like you baby the Democrats.
The system. What are we going to do about that?
I mean, one could also make the same argument that Democrats did the same thing against the president, now president. They could point to his children or others around him who were not found guilty of crimes, and I saw a lot of that on the campaign.
Or prosecuted for any crimes. They were not.
But they were subpoenaed. Right? Hunter Biden didn't show up for subpoena. They didn't do nothing to the kid. Y'all forget that? These people, I'm telling you, to be good at politics, all you have to do is have a good memory. That's it. That's all you need to do. Pay attention. That's it. But does this little talking point stuff, that only works if someone's not paying attention. if you don't know or you're not sure. That's the only way this stuff works. But if you're paying attention, oh yeah, Trump Jr. Talked about numerous times how, yeah, they subpoena me a lot. I have to show up for these things. Oh, we need to investigate this. We need to look into this. Like they're trying to find something. But Abby Phillips won't talk about that, or she's not aware of that. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
But the premise of your question was Donald Trump is saying this person did something, this person may have done something illegally. My pushback is Democrats also made similar arguments during the campaign
Not
trail
only did they make
that
arguments,
the president
they
did things
pursued it.
illegally.
Donald
They pursued it.
Trump's children were never prosecuted
Trump was.
or
Okay, but
charged
they made
with crimes.
arguments.
Donald Trump
was.
Okay, Donald Trump, you said incited an insurrection. You said that. You wrote that down.
Yeah.
So he was investigated and charged for that.
I'm saying
Donald
on the
Trump
case he actually
took
went to trial for.
classified documents that belonged to the United States government. He was investigated and prosecuted for that. Donald
But
Trump
not found guilty. We all have the presumption of innocence.
Of course. I'm just saying, you're arguing that this is just people throwing charges at Donald Trump. He did something. He was investigated. He was charged. The process actually went through, and it was thrown out. So it's not the same thing as him saying Liz Cheney, she should go to jail.
You know what?
You can at least
Abby,
admit that,
Abby,
right?
This is what I will submit. When people wake up tomorrow and they have to put gas in the car, they have to go to the grocery store, they don't care what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney or Milley or anybody else out there.
Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, no one cares about a politician like that. People only care about a politician as far as what they can do for them. And that's how it should be, honestly, but that's how it is. Right? But if you're trying to push an agenda, like I believe a lot of these journalists are trying to do, that's the talking point you will go with. So I don't want to keep talking because I want you guys to see the pure tribalism that these journalists show every day, and they tell you what master they serve. They serve the Democratic Party.
I don't think that's right.
Is retribution still on the table for this new president?
See, this is the thing that bothers me the most. For the people who are opposed to President Trump, all they talk about is retribution. I have not seen him put retribution into anybody when he has had the power.
But he's talked about it.
But he's talked about it, but I've only seen the other side do retribution to him and everybody else. I will tell you this. 4 years ago, when President Trump left office, everybody who worked for him got blackballed, that nobody could be hired, that nobody could work any place. And then everybody had to go through attorneys. Everybody was getting prosecuted. Everybody was being looked at. President Trump had to go through. And what the Democrats did to President Trump, they helped elect him by prosecuting him because what they misread with the American public, when they would prosecute him for something they would never anybody else in America, that's when you literally felt across America, this is wrong.
And yet, Mr. Speaker,
Boom, boom. This is the biggest example of how they frame things. But then when you see reality, right? Because this is what journalists are supposed to report on. They're supposed to report on reality. They're not supposed to report on reality and then give you a perception of reality. They're not supposed to be doing that. They're just supposed to inform, this happened, here's why we think why, here's the references. That's how journalists are supposed to be. But you see how they sit here and try to frame, oh, he's going to seek retribution, he's going to do this. But you completely ignore what the other side already did. The man just got into power. 4 years ago, another man got into power, and they waited, what? They slow walked it until 2023 when Donald Trump said that he was running for re-election. Hit him with the, okay, we're gonna raid your house. Okay, we're gonna try to keep you off ballots. That's not retribution? And Kevin McCarthy pointed out how a lot of these people who worked for Trump's administration was getting blackballed. Lawyers, law firms were scared to take up Donald Trump's case because they were scared of retribution. People were saying, "Oh, you taking Donald Trump's case? We don't want any political pressure. We don't want to associate with Donald Trump's brand here." That was going on with Donald Trump. That's prosecution. That's retribution. Oh, because Democrats didn't say it out of their mouth, oh, that shouldn't be a concern. But Donald Trump say it out of his mouth, but don't do it. These people, they believe Democrats' words are louder than their actions, and it's ridiculous. Oh, Democrats say they wouldn't pardon their son, therefore it won't happen. In the action, they did it. Does the Democratic Defender journalists highlight that? No, they don't. But they won't tell you they're giving you transparency and honesty. They're here to inform the American people. Stop it. Stop it. We already know the master you serve, journalists. Let's take a look.
The president has put in place or hopes to put in place somebody like Kash Patel to lead the FBI, somebody who has made a list of people he decries as deep state individuals. Critics call it this enemies list. You heard Pam Bondi, who he wants to be his next attorney general, get questioned about this. How do you square that, what you're talking about here with the actions that the president's
But what I listen to, too, is that they would follow the rule of law, that they wouldn't put...
Do you believe Kash Patel would do so if he was...
I do believe so, because I know Kash Patel. And, you know, it's an interesting thing. I've watched people sit back and say, I want to go after you because you say you might do something in the future. We live in America, right? You're innocent, proven guilty, but now they're going after this. They will uphold the rule of law. But they saw the other side of this, that people using prosecution against them that wasn't right.
And I don't know when, I think this was made. Yeah, this is during the inauguration. But look at the framing. Look at the framing here. And then look what happened in reality. I did a video of Donald Trump's passing his executive orders. The last executive order he passed before he left Capital One Arena was to stop weaponization of the DOJ, FBI, and government institutions. But here's the media. Oh, he's gonna seek retribution. Make it make sense. He's gonna ban government censorship. That means he won't have the power to censor anybody. The media's gonna run. Does the media run and sing his praises? No. Have you ever heard the media? Let's think about this. Have you ever heard NBC, CNN, MSNBC? Let's stop it. Have you ever heard these liberal news outlets ever make a segment giving a glowing review of Donald Trump? If so, it's very far and few in between. Right? If you look at studies, according to the Media Research Center, the media covers Donald Trump 87% of the time negatively. So what masters? Like I asked the question again in the comment section. Journalists can't serve two masters. Either you're a Democratic defender or you're an informant for the American people. And it seems like when you're the Democratic defender, you only want to inform American people of the positives of your party, but none of the negatives. And that inherently isn't objective news. But I digress. I want to finish out this video.
Right? I think they'll be more apt not to use it.
I mean, we don't have time to get into all of it. But we talk about upholding the rule of law. I mean, there was the prosecution, for example, in Florida for mishandling classified documents. It seemed to be as clear as day. I mean, pursuing a prosecution under those circumstances is not an abuse of the rule of law. It's a pursuant. Okay,
so if there's credible accusations of Liz Cheney witness tampering, shouldn't Donald Trump be allowed to prosecute her and put her in jail, right? Remember? They literally contradicted themselves. Oh, if there's some validity to it, you should be allowed to pursue it. Okay, Donald Trump's allowed to pursue this then. Oh, but that's different. Kiss my butt. Like, I'm tired of these people. Let's see the rebuttal.
A vindication of the rule of law.
Okay, but this is all fair too. Okay, that was on President Trump. But at the very same moment you're saying that, you had a President Joe Biden that had the documents inside his garage. But this is something that was different than the two. He had a document when he was a senator. I've been part of the Gang of Eight. At no time, at no place, a House or senator could ever take a classified document. Done deal. But he had one. Did he get prosecuted? No. What did they say? He's too old. But he's sitting as the president of the United States.
Excuses.
So this is what we talk about, fair treatment. So when people on the other side of the aisle say, oh my God, President Trump may do something in the future, he hasn't. Give us the time and place. Let him govern. If he does something wrong, that's appropriate time to make an argument. But right now, I just watched a nation have an opportunity to heal. I watched world leaders come to this inaugural. I've watched people who spent millions of dollars against him sit right behind him and are excited.
What do you think
I watched titans in business say they're changing their process of how they run their social media companies to be fair.
Yep, but our media don't want to be fair. Make that make sense, guys. Like who does? It's clear as day. You know them by their fruit. You know journalists by their fruit. They're Democratic defenders. You want to future cast? You want to frame? Oh, Donald Trump's going to do this. Donald Trump's going to do that. Okay, what's leading that speculation? Oh, we just don't like him. That's the root of it all. But we prosecute Donald Trump for this. Okay, but how you prosecute Donald Trump for this when Joe Biden broke this. Mike Pence broke this. They did it before Donald Trump did it, but you didn't prosecute them first. But you went for him. That's not political. That's not retribution. Come on. At least go in order. But no, they got excuses for everything. Oh, this is why Democrats can do it, but Republicans can't do it. They always have a reasoning for their double standard. But from the eyes of an American like me, from outside and looking in, I'm like, yo, this is double standards is inconsistent. And whenever you call it out, Democrats are in the comment section ready to defend their party. Not knowing how it looks to the average American. But hey, I digress. This is one of the reasons why Democrats lost. Y'all more tribal than the Republicans. The Republicans are closer to the middle than Democrats are. Y'all believe in the trans stuff. Imagine, in this day and age, a president has to legally define what a woman is so y'all can stop pushing the lies that a trans woman is a woman. Make it make sense. But this is the reality we live in. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you believe that Democrats are more tribal than Republicans? Do you disagree or agree with this statement? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.